at California Speedway. It's an old-fashioned Western shootout. The NASCAR Grand National Division West Series takes on its biggest track of the season. Nextel Cup veteran Ken Schrader won at Phoenix in this series earlier in the year. He'll be tough to beat. David Gilliland won the season's second race at Mesa Marin. He'd love to make it 2 wins in a row. It's a mix of wily veterans and young guns. We'll find out how the West is won in California. Welcome to racing in California. It's NASCAR's Grand National West Series, racing today at the 2-mile California Speedway. It's a competitive field, and we're expecting a great race. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Hogwood. Welcome to California. Pat Patterson is here alongside. Pat, this the largest track these guys are going to race on all year long.
Yeah, Mike, this is their Daytona 500. When they get to the California Speedway, they've really got their work cut out for them. 2 miles, and you would immediately think it's got to be thunder under the hood that makes the difference. Well, you got to have a good motor here, but you really have to handle 2 very different ends of the racetrack. Requires that a driver and crew chief really get their setup right. We'll talk about that more today, but a unique race and a big one for these guys.
Yeah, and a lot of great drivers in the field. Now let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Candace Kruger.
That's right, guys. I'm here in pit road. All the drivers are getting seated. We're moments away from the beginning of this race. Now, Austin, you've had your string of bad luck this weekend. Didn't do as well as you hoped in qualifying. Missed the meeting this morning. You're going to have to go back to the back. How are you feeling?
We're feeling good about this Napa Chevrolet. I tell you what, the guys did a heck of a job. We changed everything, so we're going to have a brand new car underneath us, and our goal is to go to the front.
Okay, well, best of luck to you, Austin. We'll be looking for you.
We'll be back and introduce the starting field to you and go racing from California Speedway coming up. Welcome back to a beautiful day here in Southern California. It's the King Taco 200. Pat, I know you spend a lot of time out in this part of the country. Boy, the weather is absolutely gorgeous. Picture perfect day today.
It really is. It's going to be hot by this afternoon. Fortunately, we're starting this race in the morning. Track temperature is good. We had Nextel Cup cars practicing earlier, put some rubber down on the racetrack, more rubber. We have not had any rain this week, so the track's ready. It's in good shape. So it means that these guys should be able to get at it real quick.
Expecting a high today in the low 90s. Well, now we'll tell you about the starting grid. And on the pole on the front row, Clint Boyer, who said he drives some for Richard Childress. Kevin Conway alongside him in a car that is owned by Ernie Irvin. And then on row 2, it's David Gilliland, who won the last race in this series at Mesa Marin, and the defending series champion Scott Lynch, who's also going to have to drop to the back. He made an engine change.
Yeah, starting inside row number 3, it'll be Johnny Borneman out of Ramon, California, and the veteran Ken Schrader, Fenton, Missouri. He'll start outside row 3. Eric Norris, a former winner in this race, goes off in the 7th spot, and Jose Luis Ramirez, racing his first time at California Speedway, he'll start on the outside of the row with Norris as well. That'll be row number 4. Then it's Mike Duncan and one of the rookies, Nick DeFazio.
Yeah, Duncan second in the points. DeFazio also off to a good start this season. Then J.R. Patton. Mike David, who has had a pretty good year as well, on row 6. Now we move to row 7, and a guy from the Northwest Elite Series. I think you ought to watch out for the 25 car.
Jason Jefferson will be good today. Scott Gaylord out of Lakewood, Colorado, a very, very good racer. Timmy Woods, the third, rolls off in the 15th spot out of Chino Hills, California. This is his backyard, and Timmy's crew chiefed by a guy, Steve Portengay, who's won here at this racetrack, so that should be a good story. And Sean Woodside, unfortunately, is going to have to go to the back of the field. He had wrecked a car, had to bring up a backup car. So Woodside, a series champion and a veteran of this series for many, many years, will start in the back.
And Austin Cameron also going to the back. He's on row 9 along with Brett Thompson. Row 10, David Eshelman, former mayor of the city of Fontana. And Nick Janitis is also there on row number 2.
Darrell Hare will start, or Har rather, will start in the 21st spot. Jason Small will start on the outside of that row. Carl Har, his father, will start on row in 23rd spot, and Jack Sellers, in his last year, full year of racing, Sellers will start in the 24th spot.
Been around a long time. On row 13, the 25th position, Steve Schaefer and Blake Mallory. Mallory racing his first race in the West Series. And on row 14, 27th starting spot goes to Gene Woods of Ontario, California, and Doug Ingram of Vancouver, British Columbia.
And Bobby Hillis there from Phoenix, Arizona will start in the back. Let's take a look at some of our onboard cameras, and I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to this. These are some great shots, Mike.
Yeah. Looking forward to being on board today. We're on board with Kenny Schrader, and he will start 8th. And you see Schrader looking awful relaxed inside that car. And
Kenny should be relaxed. He's been out practicing just a few minutes ago in his Cup car there. As you look out the front of the Federated Auto Parts machine, give some good shots there as we get ready to go.
And Austin Cameron also carrying one of our inboards today. Cameron's, of course, because he missed the driver's meeting, going to have to move back to the rear of the field. A tough break for Cameron, and you see now some of the cars going by him, and it's going to be patience, the word for Austin Cameron today.
Yeah, everybody's got to kind of get those jitters out of the way. It's for a lot of these guys getting out and getting onto the big track for the first time of the day. Get a little bit nervous there as we take a look at Sean Woodside there driving a car. It's got Jerry Springer all of it. I'm not so sure that this car is just going to jump up and insult somebody all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying?
But he's had a tough time. I mean, he has had a tough weekend here and had to go to a backup car after wrecking his primary, and they just got it ready at the shop and brought it over here today. Sean Woodside out of Saugus, California.
And just to give you a little bit of the story there, Woodside works in the entertainment business here and actually does sound and all sorts of stuff for lots of shows over in Hollywood. The Springer Show is one of the deals that he works with over there, so that's the reason we've got that. He's got that on his car and promoting the Jerry Springer Show here.
And before we go green, I want to make a note that Brandon Miller actually had the second fastest time in qualifying, but wrecked his car in the happy hour and had to withdraw from the race.
Man, we're getting close to turning them loose here, Mike. I am excited. 2 miles here is something to watch, man, and we're going to see ourselves some great racing here, the King Taco 200.
Pace car is pulling down on pit road. They are bunched together, and how about it? About ready to drop that green flag as they bunch up. It'll be Clint Boyer and Kevin Conway leading them to green. Boyer gets a good jump. We're underway at California Speedway.
Takes these cars just a little bit of time to come up to speed, but certainly looks like Boyer's got a good jump.
Well, Boyer, who has won in just about every series he's ever raced in, gets a couple car length lead on the first lap, and I really think these guys know that patience will be the order of the day.
I think we may have a couple of cars that got a little anxious there. The 45 car and the 16 both have been notified by NASCAR that you jumped my start, and that's going to cost them some time.
Jason Small in the 45, and of course the 16, Austin Cameron. His day has not started out very good. On board with Ken Schrader right now. Schrader has moved up to the 5th position, started in 8th.
Yeah, and Kenny knows right now, just comes off turn 2 and we look down the backstretch here at California Speedway. The wind really isn't that big a factor. A little earlier it was really blowing, and now it's just kind of died down. And the 16 car has come down to take his penalty for jumping the start. Austin Cameron on the pit road as we continue to watch through Schrader's car. They're now back taking a look at Kenny as he works back down towards the front stretch.
Yeah, the penalty for Austin Cameron, and he's going to have a tough time getting up to speed. He may be going a lap down here.
Well, there's no question, Mike, that the field's going to catch him real quick, and he will lose a lap for sure. And it was a pass-through penalty, so all he had to do was actually just come down the pit road. He didn't actually physically have to stop in his pit.
Boyer catching up with Austin Cameron and is going to go right by him on the back stretch. And Austin Cameron early in this race on the second lap goes a lap down as you see Boyer going by him.
Reminder that the pit road speed today when they do come down pit road is 55 miles per hour. So crew chiefs and spotters will be reminding guys of that as they do have to come to the pit road. We do expect at least one major pit stop today in this race. And of course, other guys may pit as they get time.
Pat, want to talk about the guy who's made the move up to 2nd place, and it's Johnny Borneman in the 8 car. That Pontiac is flying. Borneman, 26 years old, has a couple of career wins.
Johnny is a good racer. Tried to make the Busch race. Actually going to race for Ed Rinsey this weekend as a teammate to the 25 car of Bobby Hamilton Jr. They didn't make the show, unfortunately, but he's in good shape for this race as you're back up front there with the leader, Clint Boyer.
We'll have more of the King Taco 200 from the California Speedway in a moment. Young Clint Boyer. Boy, what a future he's got ahead of him.
His car is working really good, you know, right down to the bottom of the racetrack there. You saw him working around turns 1 and 2. Mike, this place is really an oddity when it comes to getting a car set up. 3 and 4 are so different from 1 and 2, and you really are seeking a balance all day long out here in these cars, and you need some adjustability. This pit stop that they'll have later on for fuel will be critical as well from getting maybe dialing the car in a little bit more.
Well, we didn't talk a lot about that early in the broadcast, Pat. Let's talk about these pit stops in that you can't make it on fuel. The tire rule is that you're allowed 10 total tires, and that includes the 4 on the car. You have 6 in the pits, and so I would think that tires would make a difference, but you're only allowed to change 2 on a yellow stop. Yeah,
and basically they do that to control the cost of this series. Even here on the speedways, in most short track races, they only get a couple tires. So, you know, for here, it was appropriate to have the number of tires that they do. Talking about the cars a little bit on the racetrack, you know, basically, you got a lot of Bill Moropoulos' motors in quite a few of these cars, and he builds some good horsepower. The RPM you want to turn here is somewhere around 7,400 to 7,800. That's really where your power band's at on these engines, on these cars. Most of these guys are pulling like a 340 to 350 gear around the racetrack, which, like I say, for Clint Boyer, that was an enormously fast qualifying lap that he had here.
I'll tell you what, Borneman's done a good job of catching up with him. There you see the 08 car. That is Scott Lynch. Lynch changed the motor and had to drop to the rear. He is the defending series champion.
There may be a problem on the 20 car, as he certainly has lost a lot of steam, and Borneman rather is about to close up on him and maybe a pass for the lead.
Well, Borneman looks like on the back stretch. You're right, he has really closed the gap, but I'll tell you what, Borneman and Boyer have put tremendous distance between themselves and the rest of this field. And Boyer seems to be hanging pretty tough right now, though.
Some of what may be going on, Mike, is Clint Boyer's crew chief may have just said, look, you need to slow down just a little bit here. You don't want to set such a pace that we wear these tires out so fast you got nothing to race with. Now these two cars are hooked up together, so we'll see if he's got a problem or he just wanted some help.
Well, Johnny Borneman, if you followed this West Series, you know that last name's pretty famous. His dad raced in this series as well. We're 9 laps in. We'll race 100 here.
Wow, what beautiful pictures and an absolutely gorgeous day. Back on board with Kenny Schrader as he has got a beat on David Gilliland.
And Schrader has made his way past Conway. He's in the 4th position now. So he's steadily gaining on the field and has set his sights, as you said, on young David Gilliland, who's straight ahead of him. And Gilliland's had quite a start to this season. The win at Mesa Marin.
Well, his father, Butch Gilliland, was a long-time competitor out here and just a really, really nice guy. It's a family affair with those guys. I had a chance through my relationship over at Irwindale Speedway to kind of be around for Gilliland, to watch him develop as a driver. And truly, David is I think he's even better than his dad. I think his dad would tell you that as well. But he's doing a great job out here, and right now he's got a good spot out there on the racetrack doing good work today.
Well, one thing I think we can agree on is that there's not a lot of trouble on Boyer, but there is trouble on the racetrack, and we have a caution flag. Caution is out on lap number 11. Boyer takes the yellow flag. Borneman right behind him. And there looks like a car has hit the wall in turn 2.
They were trying
to get
the
number 4 car of Nick Jonitis. Yeah, as you can see, there's some fire under the hood.
And he's out of the car. You just saw Nick come up to the wall, sit down up there. He obviously is shaken, and that's some oil fire, some of the oil coming out of the front of the car that they're trying to get those flames extinguished as quickly as possible. Emergency crews quickly on the scene. Man, I'm glad to see how fast they got there, and you can see them tending to Nick Jonitis up there. He's sitting by the wall where the emergency workers are working now.
This is Nick Jonitis' first West race. He's been a regular on the Southwest Tour in the Elite Series.